Hi, this is going to be a demonstration of the new Explosion Generator version 3 from Deep Blue Ideas. So it's a tool that lets you generate explosions for your games or any other projects you may be working on. It runs on both Macintosh and Windows. I'll go through the versions and variants later, but it works on most systems. So let's just fire it up here. Okay, so the first thing you see is the main interface where you configure all the explosions. We'll go through all the settings in more detail in a moment, but I'll just create a quick explosion here for you. Put some rocks in, there we go. So very quickly create an explosion, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to grab these frames. So the system captures all the explosion frames, and here they all are. Okay, the system's actually captured 59 frames, but for our game we can see how many frames we want to use. We can say, well, actually I just want 26 frames. And what will actually happen is the explosion generator will pick out 26 key frames that make up this explosion. Likewise, if you actually said I only want 4 frames, you'll just get 4 frames from the base explosion you created. So for my example, I'm actually going to do, say, 36 frames. Okay, so you can see them all here. And on the preview here, we can zoom in and we can change the background colour to see what it actually look like on different coloured backgrounds. So, okay, so this demo I'm just going to run straight through to show you what we can actually do with the tool. From here we can actually export the animation out. And I'll just go through this quickly. This is telling us the animation is actually 400 by 400 pixels with 36 frames. And we can scale down accordingly, so we can say actually we want to do it 50%. Okay, so now they become 200 by 200 each frame. And then we can pick the output format. A series of PNG files, a series of TIFFs, JPEGs, a PNG sprite sheet, or some actual project files pre-built for you with your animation already put in. So if I pick, for example, the Corona project file, it'll actually create a sprite sheet for me, and all the Lua files required to actually build the animation inside Corona. Here I can just adjust the size of the sprite sheet. So we get the best size here is 1024 2048. But again, if I actually made this smaller, you'll see the sprite sheet reduces as well. By doing this, you can actually make your sprites smaller. Then you can actually just set the scale up in the actual Lua code. So the sprites, once at 50%, will be played back 1.6 times greater in the Corona project. Okay, so just choose where you want to export the explosion project out to. Click export. All the code is generated for you on the fly. That's all done now. So if I go over to where the explosion was actually created inside my folder, okay, here, I can actually see here's my explosion that was created. Here's all the Lua files that were created. And here's my explosion sprite sheet that was created for me on the fly. So if I actually open this up inside Corona, just so you can see what it actually does for you. So Corona, load it up. Okay, open the main file. And it creates a default iPhone project for you, just as an example. So there's your explosion, all put together for you very quickly, very nice, neat. And you can obviously reuse the code and repurpose the code for your games, etc. Okay, so that's a very quick example of what we can do with the project, with the tool. Create an explosion, export it straight out into our SDK or a PNG file for us to use.